All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to our webinar. My name is Micah Matthews. I am one of the marketing directors here at Messer Financial Group, and we are pleased to be partnered with Bobby Joe and Jerry Wagner from United Healthcare. They are the account executives, so they are a great resource to use, and UH1 has been gracious enough to present us with a product that I think is going to be a must-have in each one of your portfolios. So I think it's a great thing that everyone was able to join us today. There's going to be a lot of good information being shared, and it's something that I think will be very valuable to you in the under 65 and over 65 market. So they've basically created a plan for us that we can market to just about everybody. So we know that there's some big opportunities on the ACA this year in a lot of markets, carriers shaking things up as far as who's competitive coming in and back out of the market, things like that. And plus we have the big play with short-term medical now for those that are relatively healthy. That's one thing I wanted to go over before I hand it off. On our Messer Financial website, this is our homepage. This is www.messerfinancial.com, and here you can access basically everything that an agent would need in order to write business or product information. The one thing that I want to focus on, if you look at this tab right here, it's Agent Resources. It is on our website. Has everything that you need. If you ever want to go back, if for some reason you've missed a webinar, you can click on Messer Learning Center, and it will take you right to this page where all of our webinars are posted. This webinar in particular will be posted on Tuesday of next week, so just in case you ever want to go back and watch an old one, you're more than welcome. So if I hit this Just Added tab, you'll notice that there's some other webinars that we've done, and also we did one with United Healthcare on their short-term medical. So this dental product will be very, very nice to pair with that short-term medical as well, so you may want to go back and check that one out. Also wanted to show you that if you ever wanted to quote an ACA plan in a certain area, we do have a quote tool for that. So under Agent Resources, you'll see there's a quote tool option. When I click on that, it'll take me and you'll see there's basically a quote tool for every kind of life or health product that you'll need. But for this instance, we'll use Health Quotes. It'll take you right to our INSX Cloud platform. I'll show you just how easy it is to quote. So in this North Carolina, I'll use our zip code 7. You pick a county. It should automatically do it. There we go. Then we just pick male or female. We'll just say 1/1/1980. Next. And we'll want to do medical for this purpose. Say no. Next. And there you go. There's all your ACA plans. So this plan will be a perfect bundle for those that are on an ACA plan and even those that are on the short-term medical. If you want to quote, even if you're not appointed with UH1 yet, you'll want to go to www.uh1.com. This is the main site for them. You can type in the zip code, view plans just like you're a client, and you can quote everyone. Once you're appointed with them, then you'll be able to have access to their broker portal where you can quote, submit business. So again, it's extremely easy to use. It's a great value to the clients, and I think it'll be a great addition to your portfolio. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Bobby, Joe, and Jerry. Guys, you can take it over, and Rebecca, if you would share their screen, we'll be good to go. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Micah. Let me see here. I just want to make sure. So are you guys seeing the slide entitled Dental and Vision Plans for Individuals and Families?
Yes, we are.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. All right, thanks again. Again, my name is Jerry Wagner. Along with me this morning is Bobby Joe Massey. We work together in correlation on our sales team here in the individual side of United Health One. I work more so on a high level with Messer Financial at an agency level, where Bobby Joe is really our seasoned state account executive expert. So she gets into really diving into the details of the plans, how to position it to clients, trying to work with brokers on some sales solutions. So we're going to do this in tandem today. So I'm going to kick things off. And with all the changes in the individual health space, we continue to try to bolster our portfolio of product. Now, we talk about the dental product, of which we're going to focus on. We just released a new series of dental plans. We call them our generation plans that are in most of the states that are represented on this call. There are a few states that are a little bit slower on the uptick, if you will, with approval on these dental plans. We originally came out, and there's some maps in here that you're going to be able to see this in terms of illustration purposes. We originally came out and filed this new dental product in 40 states. We've been approved initially with 19, and as we go, the footprint is going to expand. So if you don't see your state immediately on the map, don't get too nervous, because it typically doesn't take us too long to add these. And the beauty of it is we still have our existing dental product in the states that we do not have the newest generation product. So I would be remiss, and Micah already kind of did a commercial on this, if I did not include this map in our dental presentation. This is a short-term medical footprint that we currently have. The blue states are the most favorable, because those represent where we can sell up to 360 days of short-term. So basically what happened was, when we went back to being able to offer longer duration beyond just a 90-day deal, like CMS confined us to in April of 2017, we went back to the old plans and just extended the duration. So you see most of the states that I think are represented on this call are in fact in blue, and that can sell that 360 days. You'll see South Carolina is a 337-day proposition. I do think, too, there were some Kansas brokers, maybe that Barbara told me, that would be on for 123 days. But again, I know the focus here is dental, but I did want to put this up again, too, being that it is open enrollment. And if you run into a client that perhaps cannot afford that ACA premium, or perhaps the coverage in terms of network isn't just robust enough, this is another option. So by all means, when we get to the end of this, too, our contact information is going to be up here. So if you have further questions on anything, for that matter, that we're going to cover today, please feel free to reach out, but especially on these short-term options and what plan we would recommend for clients. So getting into the dental, the one thing that I want to clarify up front, we do not have child-only dental plans. So the minimum issue age is 18 years of age. The beauty of this is there's no maximum age limit. So I know most likely a number of you are probably operating in that Medicare space. So that's one thing to keep in mind as I go through our current portfolio that we have. I should say the what used to be the current, and when Bobby Joe jumps into the newest generation of our dental plans, these play across all markets, pre-65 and Medicare age. So that's important to note too. So I mentioned the state availability, and this would be prior to the October launch of our newest generation dental product that Bobby Joe will get into. These are the states that remain on what now I would consider to be the older generation of dental. So we still have dental in all these states. It's just not our newest updated generation of products. So you'll see North Carolina, South Carolina would be represented with our older generation of product. All of these are current on our e-store. So if you go out to quote these, you're going to find these plans out there. So these particular plans, there are actually 4 of them. And what I'm going to do is I'll go through these, and then I'm going to tell you, actually you're going to see it because it's on a slide, what our best sellers are. And it's kind of for some common sense type reasons. But there are 4 different plans. Starting on the left, you'll see the lowest price going up to the most coverage with that Dental Premier Elite. The United Healthcare Dental Primary on the left is the lowest price of the 4 plans. One of the big reasons for that is it does not include any coverage for major services. The Dental Primary Preferred offers coverage for those major services, so that's going to be a slightly higher premium. The Premier Choice is, and I'll get to it in a second, that is one of our best-selling plans because it's a little bit more of a benefit-rich plan, and it mirrors a lot of group type of benefit, dental benefit offerings. The Dental Premier Elite is also a benefit-rich plan, and that one is going to have more out-of-network coverage. So you're going to pay a little bit more of a premium for that particular plan. So to break these down in a little bit more detail, that dental primary and primary preferred plan. So those first two on the previous slide we're going to take a look at here. Both of these plans have a deductible for basic services of $50. The dental primary preferred has a deductible for major services of $50. Neither of these plans has a waiting period for the preventive services, but it's important to note that both do have a 6-month waiting period for the basic coverage. And as you can see, there's a 12-month waiting period for the major services on that dental primary preferred. So really, in taking a look at this, the only difference between these two plans is the coverage for major services on that primary preferred. Both of these plans have an annual maximum of $1,000 per covered person, and the basic services are covered at 70% coinsurance after the deductible is met. And the major services are covered at 50% of the United Healthcare dental primary preferred. Those major services are not covered on that dental primary. That's very, very important. So that's going to be obviously the big difference when you start quoting these in premium that you're going to see. Both of these plans cover up to 4 bite wing x-rays per calendar year, and both of these plans provide out-of-network care based on the network rates. So personally, if I'm a broker in the field and I am going to be looking at quoting, I am going to focus on the dental primary if you're trying to meet a certain price point, knowing that you will not have coverage for major services. The next two plans, the Dental Premier Choice and the Dental Premier Elite. Both of these plans have deductibles, a deductible of $50 combined for basic and major services. So this is combined deductible. Neither one of these plans has a waiting period for preventive. Both have a 6-month waiting period for basic and a 12-month waiting period for major services. So these are your two plans, like the primary preferred, that do have coverage for the major services. Preventive care is covered at 100%. There is no copay or no deductible. Both of these plans start out with an annual maximum of $1,200 per covered person. You can see, though, over the time, your client's annual maximum can increase to $1,500 per covered person. So there's a persistency factor that plays into here, too, that behooves them to keep the plan. Basic services are covered at 80% coinsurance after the deductible, and major services are covered at 50%. Again, like the last two plans, both of these cover up to 4 bite wing x-rays once per calendar year. Dental Premier Choice provides out-of-network care based on the network rate. Dental Premier Elite offers more out-of-network coverage. And you can see that both out-of-network care is covered at the reasonable and customary rate. I put this up here for a couple of different reasons. First of all, I know we just highlighted four plans. As you can see, if you take that Premier Choice and you take the primary, so that was the one with no major coverage, those two combined add up to 70% of our overall sales. So personally, if it were me to simplify things, and I know sometimes this can be kind of daunting when you start taking a look at all the different plans, but what you're going to see more here in a second, but Bobby Joe does a nice job on honing in on what her favorites would be. If I'm going to sit down with a client, I'm going to show them the option of the dental primary because it's going to meet a certain price point with the understanding you're not going to get coverage for major services. If you want to go down that road, I'm also going to show them the Premier Choice. Again, that one's the one that mirrors a group type of coverage with a higher annual maximum, and that is my personal favorite, that Dental Premier Choice. So hopefully that kind of guides you a little bit and makes it a little bit more simple to understand these current plans that are in those states. I also include our top 10 sales states, and I know there's brokers represented on this call from, I believe, the top 4, Florida, Texas, Georgia, North Carolina. So I illustrate this for obvious purposes that if you're not looking at our dental right now, those are some of our strongest states in terms of sales volume. A lot of it has to do with price point, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that that Premier Choice is such a solid pick. And I believe there are Pennsylvania brokers on here too, and that is also a top 10 state. So that portfolio of dental product is very simple. Again, I think I've made it a little bit more simpler. If you're going to focus on a couple plans, is that primary and the choice. We're going to expand things now a little bit. And again, I preface this as we move into our newer generation of dental products is to not get caught up in all the different plans, because there are going to be more than what I just showed you. We really expanded the product portfolio. But as I say, bear with Bobby Joe a bit, because she will narrow this down for you and isolate what would be her favorites. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bobby Joe to talk about our newest generation of dental products.
Good morning, everyone. So just as Jerry had said, he presented what we would say now, our older generation of dental and vision plans. And as of October 26th, we have launched our new products in 19 states, just like all of our dental plans, whether it's Gen 2, the old generation, or the new Gen 3. These products are available for just about any customer, individuals, couples, growing families, empty nesters, and even those that are retired. So basically, unlike the previous products that were a commodity and a true tack-on product, these new products are market-leading differentiations. They definitely compete with the specialized carriers out there. They contain features that matter. There is built-in flexibility. They are consumer-centric, and they're built for client persistency. So here's a quick look at the states that just launched, as I said, October 26th, these 19 states that are in light blue. So the newer states would be Texas, Florida, Kansas, Georgia, all have this new product. The new features include dental, hearing, vision, no wait periods on selected plans, provides annual maximums up to $3,000. I'm excited about this one. We have orthodontia on one of the plans. And then a couple of them have dental implant coverage. The dental plans are standalone, which means that, again, this can be sold to anybody out there. The plan guidelines are, similar to like Jerry said, primary insured must be 18 or older, no child-only coverage, but there is no maximum age limit. Therefore, this can benefit consumers that are over 65. They can get next day effective date. They can apply up to 90 days in advance if they want to plan ahead. They are not medically underwritten, and they are guaranteed renewable. Last but not least, these dental plans also utilize the United Healthcare Dental Network. This gives customers access to over 85,000 providers across the United States. With these new plans, we have simplified pricing structure, so it makes it easy for you. Premium types are individual and spouse, individual and children, and family. It's important to know that for the individual and children and the family tiers, the price is the same regardless of the number of children that would be placed on the plan. These plans are designed for two different consumer segments. The primary and premier plans are available to primary insureds that are 18 to 64. There is a 1-year overlap at age 64 where customers can also apply for the Gen plans. And then after age 64, only the Gen plans are available to quote. So as I mentioned, there was three different classes or families of these products. Again, it's primary, it's premier, and then it's gen. So we're gonna first go through the four primary plans. As you can see, on the left-hand side, lower price. To the right side, you're working more to a more richer benefit plan. So primary on the left, this offers immediate coverage for preventive care and basic services. Primary Plus, which pays more for non-network services. Primary Preferred, which provides coverage for major services after a 6-month wait. And then Primary Preferred Plus, which allows customers to use network or non-network providers. With these four plans, you're going to see it can be a bit overwhelming, so I like to share my favorites to steer you in a direction to maybe start out with and branch out beyond that. This, again, is a brand new product, so I'm anxious to see which products become our best sellers, but just looking at the plan benefits and pricing, the red boxed areas on the coming slides are what I found to be my favorites when you look at benefits and price. So all of these four primary plans cover preventive care immediately at 100%. As far as the basic services, you'll see, depending on the plan they choose, it will start out day one, no wait period. Day one, 35% coverage or 50% coverage, growing over time to 80% coverage year 3 for basic services. For major services, the first two plans, Primary and Primary Plus, major services are not covered. And then the Primary Preferred and Primary Preferred Plus, those two plans have a 6-month waiting period for major services. After that 6-month wait, it's covered at 15%, growing year after year for year 3 coverage at 60%. All these four plans have a $1,000 annual maximum per covered person. And then depending on the plan they choose, they would have a $50 deductible, whether it's for basic only or combined basic and major deductible. Lastly, both primary plans with the plus in the plan name will provide higher reimbursement rates to customers when they go out of network. Next is the 4 Premier plans. Premier Choice, which offers immediate coverage for preventive care, basic, and major services. Premier Elite, which pays more for major services. And Premier Plus, which provides coverage for orthodontics for dependents. And lastly, Premier Max, which offers the highest annual maximum. So of these 4 plans, again, to simplify your choices, I thought I'd share my favorites in this set of 4, which is the Premier Choice, no wait period on all services, as well as the Premier Plus, no wait period again on all services, and that's the plan that includes the orthodontics and implant coverage. As you'll see on all 4 of these plans, preventive services are covered 100% day 1. Basic services can vary, starting out at 50%, 35 to 50% year 1, no wait period on the first 3, growing to year 3 covered at 80%. The Premier Max, way on the right-hand side, that plan does have a 4-month waiting period, then covered at 50%, and then growing to year 3 being covered at 80%. So as you can see, when you talk about graduating benefits like this is, again, the reason we say they're built for persistency, to keep the clients on the books. Major services, as you can see, starting out on my 2 favorite plans, day 1 at 10%, growing to year 3 covered at 50%. Now the Premier Elite has a 6-month wait, covered at 15%, and then grows to 60% year 3. And then the one way on the right-hand side, Premier Max, that does have a 12-month waiting period. After that, it grows up to be covered at year 3, 60%. These 4 plans have annual maximums ranging from $1,000 to $3,000. So the Premier Max is the one that has that $3,000 annual max. Your clients, like before, will have a $50 deductible. Depending on the plan, it may be for basic services only, or it could be combined for basic and major services. Lastly, if your client has dependents under the age of 19 in need of orthodontic services, they would want to take a look at that Premier Plus plan. This is the only plan that we will offer that includes orthodontic services. It has a 12-month wait with a separate $150 deductible and a separate $1,000 lifetime maximum. This is important to point out as well. I've gotten many calls over the last couple weeks where they're asking, oh, is there annual max for the dental plan also including that ortho services? It is not. The ortho lifetime max of $1,000 is separate from their dental max. Lastly is our 4 Gen plans, and for each of you, just to refresh your memory, these are for the consumers who are 64 and older. Gen Saver on the left gives consumers immediate coverage for preventive, basic, and major services. Gen Saver Plus pays more for non-network providers. Gen Basic gives customers 100% coverage for preventive care. And then Gen Deluxe offers the highest annual maximum. So here too, my favorite in this grouping of 4 plans, the Gen plans for those 64 and older, would be Gen Deluxe. This plan has no waiting period for all services, and it is the only plan in this grouping that covers implants. So we'll take a look at all of these plans. Basically, you can see for the basic, for preventive services, you'll see are a little bit different. So 3 of them, all except for Gen Basic, will start out no waiting period for preventive, covered at 60% day 1, and growing up to year 3 at 80% coverage. And then Gen Basic is the only one here that would cover them preventive services 100% day 1. Basic services are covered immediately at 50% on all 4 of the plans and at 80% policy year 3. Major services, including dentures, are also covered immediately at 10% and at 50% policy year 3 on all 4 plans. The annual maximums on these plans vary from $1,000 to $2,000. The client here will have a deductible, either a $50 or $100 deductible, and it is combined for basic and major services. Gen Plus is another plan option that will provide your client with greater reimbursement rates for out-of-network benefits when it's attending a non-United Healthcare National Options PPO 30 provider. Gen Deluxe, as I said earlier, is the only plan that covers implant services. One thing I also want to point out too is that bringing these graduated benefits to customers is the big value there is that when there is no wait period, they are able to take advantage of a network discount day 1. When we had the old generation and there was a 12-month wait for major services, in that 12-month wait period, they weren't able to obtain a United Healthcare network discount. So again, with these services that are covered day 1, they are able to take advantage of a strong United Healthcare network discount. Next in the session, I do want to talk about the hearing benefits and the optional vision rider that can be added to these standalone dental plans. The vision benefit is an optional rider. The hearing benefit is included on all of these plans, both over and under 65. The hearing and vision benefits also have no medical underwriting, no maximum age limit, and the annual maximums are completely separate, yet again, from one another and completely separate from that dental plan. The fact that we don't have one bucket or one benefit amount that we use for dental, vision, and hearing claims is unique in the industry. This is a differentiator with our product and a benefit that your client will truly appreciate. Taking a deeper dive into that vision rider, the premier and primary plans for those 18 to 64, if they choose the vision rider, it's glasses and contacts coverage. And then for the gen, those 64 and older, it would be glasses or contacts coverage. So taking a look at the vision rider, there will be no waiting periods. There's immediate coverage. Take a quick look at the eye exam. It's once a year, a $10 copay when in network. The eyeglasses frames, once a year in network, they are given an allowance of $150. Once a year, their lenses in network would be a $10 copay. And then contacts in network. If their contacts are on our selected contact lens list, it would be a $0 copay. If they're not on that select contact list, then they're given a $150 allowance. Now we'll take a look at the hearing benefits that is included on all the dental plans. So on the left-hand side, the primary and preferred plans, those are those for 18 to 64. It's going to include the audiologist appointment setting, discounts on hearing exams and aids, a 45-day free trial on hearing aids, and then a complimentary 1-year supply of batteries. On the right-hand side, your gen product for those 64 and older. Similar thing here where they've got the audiologist appointment setting. It would be about a 30 to 60% off retail on major hearing aid brands, still a 45-day trial for hearing aids, and complimentary 1-year supply of batteries. In addition, on these senior plans, there are a couple of fixed benefits that the customer has. So they get a $75 benefit towards a hearing exam immediately, and that benefit is available once every 12 months. In addition to that discount, customers have an increasing benefit of $100 to as much as $750 for hearing aids. That benefit will increase automatically on each policy year anniversary if the customer did not utilize that benefit in the previous year. Again, with those 12 new plans that we have, I just wanted to show you once again my favorites. If I could just hone in on those types of, with the 12, I just want to hone in on these 4 options. The ones on the right-hand side, the 3, those are for the 18 to 64 demographic, and then the ones on the Gen Deluxe on the right-hand side is for 64 and older. Just wanted to put that up for you. And then, like Micah said, this will be in your Messer portal if you want to go ahead and take a look at these again. Jerry and I are also here if you want to go in a deeper dive on each of the products, because it can be overwhelming. So in summary, we are excited to now maintain a dental portfolio of products that truly meet the needs of all customer types that you have. As we discussed, our product is sure to stack up competitively, benefit and price-wise against any other option in the industry. Our 3 plan types in different consumer segments, junior being your 18 to 64 or your senior 64 and older. It has the simplified 4-tier pricing and also the vision and hearing benefit options. With that said, I'm going to hand it over to Jerry.
Thank you. Nice job, Bobby Joe. And we've got an hour schedule, I know, and I do have to give a commercial to one of our newer type of offerings too that I would recommend quoting on every particular sales encounter. In a second, we're going to open it up for questions, so we should have plenty of time for Q&A, because I do know, not to overemphasize, the amount of plans can be somewhat daunting, and hopefully Bobby Joe kind of simplified things there with her favorites in terms of recommendations. But before we open it up in terms of tackling any type of dental type questions, I do want to highlight, since we have the opportunity, our Healthiest You by Teladoc, because that's really kind of become a rage, if you will, over the last 2 years. This particular product works for any primary insured 18 years of age and older, and it's been a very, very big, I'd say there's been an outcry from Medicare type brokers in that space, and I'm going to give a personal example of something I just ran across too, of where this would have been so user-friendly for me, but this actually launched on August 24th. So this is the Healthiest You by Teladoc. Just very briefly, 70% of, things that people go to the emergency room for, or a doctor visit or urgent care, really can be handled through this particular app. These actually come right from the people at Healthiest You. They provided this to us. These are the 9 top reasons people will go to one of those particular provider options, either ER or urgent care. You can see there anything from allergies, sore throat, sinusitis, strep, UTIs, upper respiratory infections. These are all types of things that can actually be very efficiently handled through this particular app. I think this is a very good illustration. This is where I'm going to share my own personal experience. So if you start with the Healthiest You, on the left, you can see you're not traveling, you're not sitting in a waiting room exposing yourself to other germs. You're not dealing with a claim. Whereas if you're going to a primary care physician, you see $125, and of course you're exposed to the travel and all that type of stuff. Urgent care, $175 on average, and ER, $1,200. So personally, earlier in the year, I had to go to urgent care. I had an upper respiratory infection. I got billed $140 for that. I got a physician's charge on top of it that was just under total the $300 range. Whereas with Healthiest You, it is $20 per policy, and that doesn't matter if it is a one person on that particular policy or if there's 5 in a family. It is $20. There is no copay. It's unlimited access, 365, 24/7. 94% are handled in first call resolution. The average call time is 13 minutes. There are 200 different languages supported through this line, and 51% of these are occurring between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. What does that mean? That means you're not taking off of work, you're not using vacation time. It is being handled virtually, and it's just a more efficient way of doing it too. So I wanted to throw a plug in for Healthiest You because we are seeing a lot of sales on the Healthiest You. And again, $20 per month, doesn't matter how many people are on that particular policy. So with that, Bobby Joe and I both want to thank everybody. We want to thank you for your time. We want to thank Messer for your continued partnership and support. You'll see our contact information there. Again, Bobby Joe is our resident state-by-state account executive expert. By all means, though, feel free to utilize both of us. I think what I want to do now is open it up for questions to see if you guys have any other questions. And obviously, if there's things we can't tackle on the call, by all means, we look forward to broadening a one-on-one relationship with everybody too, moving forward. So with that, I'm going to pause, Micah, and we'd like to open it up for any Q&A that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, that's great. Jerry, Bobby, Joe, thank you so much for presenting that product. Looks like it's going to have a fit for just about everybody. Basically, you can build it depending on which plan you want. You can build the benefits, which obviously that's the luxury of having these plans is, it's not, like with the ACA, all benefits have to be included in certain plans. With this, you can actually pick and choose what you're most concerned about, or premium, or whatever the case may be. So really good stuff. I think there's a lot of opportunity. One of the biggest questions that I'm seeing here is more on the sales aspect of it. So one of the questions is, what is or are the best leading questions to ask clients to start the conversation? How can they, begin that whole conversation with the client?
Yeah, so basically first and foremost, I always suggest talking about dental. I think that first, it's not asked the sale isn't asked for. Most brokers are just waiting for somebody to ask them for dental. I think it's important that we always present dental in every situation. But when we do talk about dental, we almost want to ask the consumer, what are their biggest concerns? What do you really want to see in a dental plan? Because with these 12 new plans on the Gen 3 offering, you really can pick and choose and tailor it to their specific need. Does that kind of help answer your question?
It does, absolutely. On these new plans, what would you say are the biggest competitive advantages? What makes this stick out as a great product? What should be the let's say three big things that they can use?
Well, so I'm going to say $3,000 annual maximum is our top end. In the senior market, the dental, vision, hearing option. Day one services, meaning no wait periods. Like I said, I can't stress enough the importance of that because they're day one being able to take advantage of a network discount. Those would be some of the top three that I would point out. Any more that you can?
I would agree. And in the no waiting periods, because we ran into that on that, like the first 4 plans I presented, we ran into some objections on waiting periods and not being able to get anything up front. Orthodontia is big. I was on the phone the other day with a broker that specifically was looking for a dental plan that maybe could be competitive with some orthodontia coverage. So again, it's going to be depending on that client mix, but I do think there's a play across those demographics, whether it's the orthodontia, whether you're talking about that the more robust senior offering, no waiting periods. It really just depends on who that client is. But to bullet point, those would be some of the ones that we might recommend.
Great. You may have mentioned this. Are all of these plans PPOs?
Yeah. So they can go in or out of network. If they're going to go out of network on the plans, it differs on how out of network benefits are paid. So majority of the plans out of network is paid on network negotiated pricing. And then I want to say a handful of those 12 plans will pay out of network services on reasonable and customary.
Are there any price sheets or anything, or is this all just quotable online?
Quotable online. I know there's just that simple 4-tier pricing, but as I was asking actuarial for a rate sheet on it, there's a couple different things that come into play when we talk about that hearing benefit being attached automatically. So the best place would be to obtain that pricing through the broker portal, uhone.com/broker.
Do you have paper or electronic applications, or is it both?
We kind of walked away from a paper app environment in March of this year. Majority of our sales, 98% of all of our sales are done online, electronic apps. So with that, 2% only being paper, we've kind of walked away from the paper app environment. So all of it is done online. Should you definitely need to do it in a one-off situation, can a paper app be done? Yes. It takes a lot more time for internal processing, so I would highly recommend online enrollment.
And I'll just make a recommendation as well why I think that's a great idea is because you could sit there with a client and hand them a rate sheet if you wanted to, but the problem is if you do it online and you start quoting, you can see all these other products that are available. And if they say, hey, well, you know what, that's a product that I might be interested in, and then what's the quote on that? And all you have to do is just check mark a box and it gives you what the price is, and they'll say, oh, well, that's actually very affordable. I'd like that. So when you think about shopping, it's more like shopping on an Amazon or something where you'll see something and you'll just add it to the cart and then say, oh, well, look at these. These are things that they also recommend. And then you just check the box, and it's just another way to help you really grow your book of business with other products. Another question is, are the orthodontic benefits only for children, or can they also be used for adults?
Only for children up to age 19.
Okay. And it looks like we have one more question here. How are the signatures handled for electronic in the event there is no internet access?
Yeah, so that's where I say sometimes you almost have to have a paper option. But so online, basically what they do is if they have the ability to take Now we've made it so easy where applications can be done even through text. So they could either email the client the application to do their signature. There's a process that we can show them how to do when they are face-to-face with the client, but they do need that internet access. Or if they know they're not going to have internet access, you're working with maybe a senior individual, hopefully they've got a smartphone. I know my grandparents are 80, just turned 80 in February, and they've kind of moved to the smartphone era. And so I've been teaching them how to use it all year long. And so I would, in that environment, I would use the text to apply feature where you're actually just texting them the app and all they have to do on their smartphone is sign it. And it's not that they're actually signing it physically, they're actually just clicking buttons for that signature.
Gotcha. Actually, we did get another question. It says, can this be done telephonically where we don't have to actually have to be with them face-to-face to enroll? Can they just do it over the phone?
Yeah, majority of our sales are moving in that direction. I know it's different for Medicare because, Medicare you are face-to-face, but the under 65 environment over the many past years has gone to be a phone sale process. So yes, you'd be able to do that phone sale and then send the client either an email or a text to apply, and you can stay on the phone as a broker to walk them through that email or that text functionality to be a one-call close and make sure that they got through it and the sale is complete. And again, I can always help walk through these processes if any broker wants to give me a call.
Well, that looks like that's it for the questions. Thank you so much again, Bobby, Joe, and Jerry. We greatly appreciate it. I think that we got a lot of great things to take away from this. And thank you for UH1 for coming out with so many different products that we can add and really, round out a great policy for our clients while also, being financially reimbursed ourselves. So anytime that there's an opportunity where we can do what's in the best interest of our clients while also making a little bit of financial gain on our side as well, we have to take full advantage of it. So again, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank all of you agents out there for joining us today. I know it's a crazy time of year, so I hope that you were able to take some with you. If you have any questions for in general, you can contact Jerry or Bobby Joe. You see their contact information up there on the screen. You can also contact Messer Financial directly at 704-568-9649. Again, these webinars are all going to be posted on our website. This one in particular will be posted next Tuesday, so keep an eye out for that. Jerry, Bobby, Joe, if there's anything that you guys want to say before we sign off.
Yeah, actually, thank you. And something stuck in my mind when you broached a question about trying to what type of questioning or getting into a discussion of even offering dental, and a thought came to mind. So when in terms of the whole packaging of a sales call or a presentation or whatnot, a lot of the successful brokers that we see that sell a lot of this dental or other ancillary products, they don't get into like closed-end questioning of, are you interested in dental, or do you currently have dental coverage? They bring it into the conversation with the medical type of discussion, saying, okay, so now we're wrapping up that. What a lot of people like to do too is they like to take a look at dental. What specific dental coverage do you have right now? So it's more of an open-ended question to kind of get into the discussion of dental, because then they can say, here's what I would recommend. Not only would I recommend this short-term particular plan or this ACA particular plan, but what we see a lot of people doing is they're preparing this up with dental, and there's all kinds of statistics out there too that we could provide in terms of all the different diseases that can be detected by going through a routine dental exam that can be found in the mouth. So it's not just about getting your teeth clean. So much more medical is really weighing on that as well. So it's just some other positioning points, is avoiding closed-ended type questioning that, do you need this? Are you interested in this? Because typically they're going to say no, this is fine. It's more so, what do you have in this? Because this would be my recommendation. So anyway, just some final thoughts on trying to broach the discussion of dental and the whole packaging of a sales conversation. But with that, that's the only other thing I have in mind. And again, thanks, Micah, on behalf of Bobby, Joe, and I. We truly appreciate the time and look forward to hopefully maybe getting some dental sales in the door.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Bobby Joe. Do you want to say anything?
No, I just want to thank everyone for their time. Honestly, we greatly appreciate it. Again, I understand the busy time of this season. and I want to make sure I put myself out there as a resource to be as helpful as possible. So again, never hesitate to call or email me.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much again. Thank you to all the agents out there that joined us this morning. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Otherwise, good luck out there and happy selling. Thank you, everyone.
Take care, guys.